What's a subtle sign that someone isn't a good person? Nothing is ever their fault. They somehow find a way to blame someone or something else in every possible situation. Always a victim. You know my mom, too? My condolences. Face with tears of joy. They only care about you when they need something from you. My mill. When they flip every criticism back on you. Yes, every time you confront them about a problem, they bring up something you've allegedly done. If they never take responsibility for anything, unless it's for the good, and then they always were there from the start. Doesn't put their litter in a bin, just drops it on the ground. My cats are assholes. They're a bit too comfy talking shit about other people. Everyone does it sometimes, but if that's the one thing they talk about, they are probably not a great person. Edit. Thanks for the silver. First award ever. Everyone needs to complain about assholes sometimes, but when they do it everywhere about everyone, then that's a huge red flag. Have a wonderful day, my friends. And they encourage you to talk shit about other people, especially in an office setting. You know that they're going around telling everyone else what you said. Freaking pot stirrers. I just can't. Watch them treat someone under them. Look to see if they treat someone under their authority with respect and compassion, or if they treat them like a dictator. They come to you every day with an issue they're having, but you're not allowed to express your problems. Had a friend like this. Every day was something with her, and no one in our group was allowed to express our issues in our lives. The amount of emotional dumping that girl did was crazy, and I had to tiptoe around her so I wouldn't cause an outburst. We all did. You could say anything and she'd be threatening to not be friends and commit suicide. There's a reason why I cut contact and refuse to even look in her direction whenever I see her. God, those types are exhausting. One of the great things about getting older is you see these people for who they are quickly and cut them out of your life even more quickly. No one needs that kind of burden. When they say they're a good person, especially repeatedly, a real good person has nothing to prove. A nice guy strikes again. When someone says that all of their exes were crazy, or when someone is never at fault, in every situation, they're always the victim or never to blame, blah blah. When people can't recognize their fault, basically LOL. Yeah, I got a couple crazy exes, but I realized it's just me being attracted to toxic people and not setting firm boundaries. So, the constant "I'm a good person" declarations. Edit. I'm not talking about anyone who says it to themselves as a mental health exercise, etc. etc. Whoa, thanks for the upvotes : saying it once or twice, okay, whatever, but that person who always has to clarify it like I'm a good person and all, but someone who has no ability to be introspective. Their world is them, not everyone. They can never see the big picture and their part in it. The world is their small picture and everyone else has a part in it. But can be introspective diagnosis others. Not being nice to animals and being an asshole to waiters. Being assholes to people in general, but yeah, waiters are people too. If they're always complaining about other people, at some point you have to realize that the common denominator is probably the problem. Meet an asshole on a Tuesday. You met an asshole. Makes jokes about their friend or tells other people stuff that's private their friends told them whilst the friend is with them or without. I remember having to explain to a girl I was hooking up with that the things I told her in private were meant to stay private and not be shared with all of our mutual friends. Keep in mind that this was during lockdown, so we only had a group of 7 people whom we ever hung out with in person. Some people have no concept of privacy. You leave every interaction with them feeling worse than when you arrived. They make everything about them and talk over people. I used to work with a guy who was constantly running at many levels of interruption. Most people aren't 100% good or bad. Trust your instincts. If you have this feeling that something is off, keep your distance and take your time to observe and figure out what makes you feel this way. How is the person interacting with others? How does she talk about her friends? etc. Yeah, not everybody gets along with everybody. Ever have someone you just don't like? Everyone else does but you don't. Don't mean they're a bad person. I personally believe that anyone who constantly posts and talks non-stop about their good deeds on social media aren't actually good people. They're just doing it for the attention. Exactly. Dopamine addiction. They get their hits every time they get a like. Had a friend that did exactly what you describe and I stopped following them. Once they stop getting feedback, it drives them nuts. Typical narcissists. The state of the bathroom after they use it. It takes 2 wipes to know you only needed 1, but 1 wipe to know you will need many more. They have a bunch of unmarked graves in their backyard.